The Star Trek character of Spock and Vulcan race represent a balance of emotion and logic. Here, I'm going to share my insight as I've grown, seeing healthy aspects of Vulcan philosophy in myself. When Leonard Nimoy prepared for the role of Spock, as he explains in his book, I Am Not Spock, he envisioned the Vulcan race as matured beyond humanity's social level in certain ways. Certainly, Star Trek's creator, Gene Roddenberry, envisioned the same. The Vulcans had evolved beyond aggressive behavior. Whereas humans argue about the proper method of government, Spock's people would propose various methods of rationality. In the Star Trek episode Balance of Terror, Spock mentions that Vulcan history had its own aggressive colonizing period. Only the discipline of logic saved his planet from destruction. Later, in the episode The Savage Curtain, we meet an historic leader of this rationality movement named Surak. So, contrary to popular misconception, Vulcans don't lack emotion. They have grown to perceive emotion as being in bad taste. It leads to horrible strife. They are highly disciplined in emotional control. This highly disciplined in emotional control is what speaks to me. It spoke to me as a tween and as a teenager. One must have a balance of emotion and rationality. Later, as I began studying Kabbalah, I found this in the Tree of Life diagram of harmony. You must know when to let your emotions surface. You must know when to think objectively. Don't jump to rash behavior you may regret later. I see this mindset in Star Trek episodes themselves. Once I asked my mom what it might be like if Jews, I am Jewish, what it might be like if Jews were in more prominent governing roles within American government. She replied that it would be like Star Trek. So, what is the Star Trek mindset? Kirk and his crew are open minded to the ramifications of their actions. Kirk seeks peaceful, collaborative solutions when possible. His friend, Dr. McCoy, once characterizes him as turning death into a fighting chance to live. That's healthy, effervescent optimism. So, again, contrary to popular misconception, Vulcans have established a society that encourages channeled emotion. In my headcanon, Vulcans channel their aggressive or passionate energy into constructive achievement. Spock says in the episode The Enemy Within, I have an alien half, you see, as well as a human half, submerged, constantly at war with each other. I survive it because my intelligence wins out over both, makes them live together. Here is a question for Star Trek fans and evolutionists. Over time, would Vulcans have bred emotion out genetically? That's a thought for a few further video. I also want to talk about the biology and how, whether accidental or on purpose, the biological references given in the show, in the original series, actually do make a lot of sense and explain a lot. It it portrays Vulcans as being, in some sense, very different, having a heart that rather than pumps blood, channels blood. Um, and I want to get into that in a separate video. Right here, I suspect that realistically, a society must have both. Let me go back a moment. Here's okay. Spock says in the episode "The Enemy Within," I have an alien half, you see, as well as a human half, submerged, constantly at war with each other. Okay. I suspect that realistically, a society must have both. Star Trek does depict moments of Vulcan creativity. In at least two episodes, we see a musical instrument. So, as we would see in a realistic Vulcan society or any healthy society as old as the Vulcan race, there will be some degree of imagination. I would say that rather than lacking emotions, Vulcans ha- um, Vulcans, as a vision of a positive future for humanity, are a race that channels their emotions constructively. This is what Star Trek proposed as one possible path to a utopia in which there are no wars, no hunger. Thanks.